Guys, it's Jane Fendelman. I'm trying out my new microphone. Here's my new microphone. Tell me how you like the sound. Jane Fendelman, how you guys doing? Okay, I'm becoming aware that there's some big topics with you guys because you're really responding and asking me more questions and private messaging me about relationship stuff. So around the time that there's those two videos on what to do, how to get on with your happy life, what to do when he's broken your heart or when you've broken up and you want him back, what to do, how to get him back. There's that video, get your man back fast. And then so many people are asking me who is the dude, and I made the next video, which was about the guy. It's called Yes, I really got dumped 2 weeks before my wedding. I really, really did. And did I get him back? Did I get him back? Yes, I did. Okay, so what I thought I'd tell you guys about is right around the same time that all this was happening, I got 3 wedding proposals, 3 marriage proposals in 1 year. 3 in 1 year. All hot, good dudes, great dudes, very interesting, gainfully employed, smart, sexy men. I had to pick. I had to pick one. So it was a great time in my life because I was 33, early 30s, like 33, I want to say. And I had gone through all my 20s and dated and had a few serious relationships, but none of them ever resulted in a marriage proposal. And I wanted marriage and family. That was like my dream. That was my big dream back then. I had those hormones, so that was my dream. Okay. How did I get 3 marriage proposals in 1 year? And you can do it too, and it's really easy. Okay, so the first thing is when I was 30, 31, something like that, it was when I had my very first big epiphany moment. Before I was 30, before I was a counselor, I was a real estate agent. I was miserable. I was a real estate agent because my father thought it was a good idea for me to be a real estate agent, and I was, we crave our parents' approval. The need for approval is crippling, by the way. Don't give in to the need for approval. It'll really fuck up your life. Just don't. So, I was living a life that was not my life. Anyway, I had quit doing that. I went through this. I got a fabulous counselor, Sue Gilmore. You guys hear me talk about her a lot. She's one of the greatest mentors in my life. She referred me to the Omega Vector Workshop, which was this self-awareness, personal growth, free workshop that's still going on today, even though George Adair, the founder of it, has passed on. George was like my soul dad. George was like my soul father. Sue Gilmore was like my soul mother. So they pretty much raised me. So I went through Omega. It was life-changing for me. I got a 3-year master's degree in 2 years. I was so lit up. I was so on fire. It was amazing. So George used to do these Monday night study groups. They were huge. Actually, there would be like, 300 of us. We had to rent out a big hotel ballroom to have our meetings. And I remember I was like 31 or 32 the very first time I heard this concept of sacred sexuality or spiritual sexuality. It was before I studied the Tantra. That was coming like a year or 2 later. And yes, I am a Tantra teacher. I do groups, and I also do one-on-one. There's no sexual activity or disrobing in session. There's home play assignments. You have to have a beloved who will practice with you. You can't just come on your own. I ain't doing it with you. And George was talking about sacred sexuality. And I remember, so I was 31, 32, 33, and I remember thinking it had never dawned on me to consciously practice celibacy. And right around the time I was starting to read books on the subject, and I was starting to learn about the strong feminine, relaxing into the strong feminine. And I read all these books, and I ended up there's an audio download on my website called Women's Lib Sucks. And it's a big problem, especially moms. Women, they have become very masculinized, directing and controlling instead of relaxing on their throne. and being in their power and allowing love to flow to them, just receiving. They don't. They're trying to get it and grab it and control it and organize it. And girlfriends do this, wives do it, and moms do it. So it's not the way. It's backwards. It's work. You're making it work. It doesn't need to be work. So anyway, George is talking about sacred sexuality. I had never practiced conscious celibacy before. I'm 57. I grew up in the 60s where everybody was doing it all the time and from the very first date. And sometimes, well, most of the time we didn't really have dates. They were hanging out. No guy called you up and asked you on a date. We were so stupid back then. Anyway, we sort of fucked it up for everybody after us. So you have to date around. You got to hear my CD, Women's Lib Sucks, the feminine movement. You got to hear that CD. Okay, so right around, I'm guessing it was 32 or 33. I decided to make celibacy a conscious choice. And I had this this refrain, this tagline, my go-to sentence. I would meet a lovely man. We would maybe go out once or twice. He would try to get down my pants. He would try to score on me, score with me, score on me, score with me. And I would say to him, wow, you are phenomenal. You are really sexy. I would love to lay down with you. And I will. Right after we're engaged with a wedding date set. And then I might make out with him some more, maybe not. And that was it. And I knew I needed to do this because I had been having these long serial monogamy relationships where I was doing everything that a wife would do without benefit of being married. And so that turns a woman into a fiendess, guys. When you're taking sex from a woman. Here's my mark. I'm not using it though. I never use it. I never stay where I'm supposed to. There's lots of meandering. If you take sex from a woman before you've decided you want to commit your entire life to her, here was the teaching George gave us this one night that changed me so much. He said, when you have sex, you might make a physical baby. That's a real big commitment. So if you're having sex with people with whom you do not have a commitment, that's kind of dangerous because even contraceptives fail. He said, but even if you don't make a physical baby, you make a spiritual baby. And after 9 months, they come back. And the energy of that spiritual baby, the energy with which that spiritual baby was conceived. So for instance, if the dude was greedily taking from you sexually, he wants his orgasm. He's taking from you. He's banging you to get a nut. And let's say you're going along with it just because you're horny, which is fine. No, that's a bad example. Let's say you're going along with it out of neediness, and you want that guy and you want him to like you. And so you go along with the sex. So there's going to be born 9 months later into your life this invisible energy baby made out of greed and neediness. And you're going to have a greedy, needy baby. His energy hanging out in your realm. And, this is metaphoric, or I thought it was metaphoric, not literal. But I remember thinking, holy shit, I'm going to have a lot of greedy babies, needy. Well, I was kind of a user when I was young. I don't know if, I was kind of a shark. Like I would cruise through, pick one out. So that's who I used to be. I used to be a jerk. What can I tell you guys? I used to be a jerk. I was a jerk when I was younger. Like after my epiphany experience, wow. I found a good mentor. That's what you got to do. So I decided from that moment on, I'm going to be celibate unless I have a serious, committed, monogamous relationship with a man with an intention for future. So I dated quite a bit. I've dated a lot in my time, lots of good guys. And I'll never forget in that, somewhere in the halfway through the first year that I was doing that, I remember having a really hard test initially. Oh, there was this hot guy. He was the hottest. Oh, he's so sweet and fun and sexy. And we used to wrestle. Yes, we wrestled. It was so hard to not go all the way. But I just, I was vigilant. I can remember crying a couple of times. It was so hard to not do it. And it's really funny because one day I remember he and I, it was like a Sunday afternoon, we'd been hanging out and we took a walk through the park and we were back at my place and we were making out and we were wrestling too. And I was like, fine, screw it, let's do it. And he stopped. He came to a full stop. And he said, wow, I would really love nothing more, but I don't want to be the guy that makes you break your word to yourself. Because he knew it was really important to me and it was a brand new thing for me. What a lovely man. Anyway, was he one of the ones that proposed? No, he wasn't, because he was kind of a playa. So I was shocked that he said that. It was really lovely. But 3 other guys during that year that I dated asked me to marry them. And the one guy I almost married, and that's the one that the video is about. Anyhow, so I love you guys. So it's a stupid saying, but don't give the milk away for free if the dude's not going to buy the cow. Because frankly, when a woman is having sex with one man, and I've said this on the radio multiple times, women, you got to either have sex with one man with whom you have a commitment, no men, or you got to have a few lovers. Because if you have sex with one man with whom you do not have a commitment, you will eventually turn into a bitch. You will. Because you're going to keep on giving your most sacred possession, your womb, and your womb is your world. So you don't give your world, your entire world, to a man until he's gotten down on one knee and spent a year's salary on a nice big fat diamond, so you know he's sincere, and says, will you please marry me and make me the happiest man in the world? Okay? So sex with no man, sex with one man with whom you have a real commitment, or have a few lovers so that you don't bond to that one man. Because when a woman has sex with one man, when a woman has sex, oxytocin is released, floods her system. And oxytocin is the in-love hormone. It makes you bond to that man. Men don't have oxytocin released when they have sex. They don't. They just don't. Different chemistry. Men decide to marry a woman with their head, not that head, this head. Okay? So I wish you guys loads and loads of love. And if you want marriage and you want a real commitment, this is a way. Consider your sacred self. Consider your body your most sacred possession. And don't give it to a man who isn't righteous. He has to be a good man. He has to deserve it. Don't just give it away. Don't just give your most sacred possession to any ape that comes along and beats his chest. Okay? I love you guys so much. Mwah. Write me and comment if you end up getting married or getting asked to be engaged, or if you want to, look at this, if you want to exercise your intimacy muscles, whether you're in a beloved relationship or whether you're single, come to my relationship retreat. It's in Phoenix, April 22nd, 23rd. If you're single and you want to manifest a beloved relationship, this is the way. You come to this workshop with a friend with whom you feel comfortable holding in a long embrace or slow dancing. And exercise your intimacy muscle. It'll open your heart wide open, wide open, so that you can manifest the love relationship that you want and deserve. Okay. I love you. See you next time. How do you turn this thing off?